verse, Gopika Geeta. Atati yad bhavan ahnikananam trutiryugayate tvamapashyatam kutilakuntalam shrimukham cha te jadau dikshatam pakshmakrudrisham patisutanvaya bhratrubandhavan ativilangyate tyachyutagataah gatividastavodgitamohitaah kitavayoshitah kastyajenishi atati yad bhavanah nikananam trutiryugayate tvamapashyatam kutilakuntalam shrimukham cha te jadau dikshatam pakshmakrudrisham patisutanvaya bhratrubandhavan ativilangyate tyachyutagataah gatividastavod gitamohitaah kitavayoshitah kastyajenishi Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva He Nath Narayana Vasudeva बोलिए कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं Satgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Satgurave Namaha. 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 7th through 9th verse, 8th chapter. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhya cha mayyarpitamano buddhihi mame vaishyasya samshayah abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya paramam purusham divyam yati parthanuchintayan kavim puranamanushasitaram. Aditya varnam tamasaf parastat. Bhagavan is answering the last question of Arjuna. At the time of departure, at the time of death, how should you be known by a person who has a focused mind? Bhagavan is iterating this point that throughout our life we have to remember God. We have to remember Bhagavan sitting in one place, but yudhyacha also, even while doing our everyday duties. Bhagavan said that person who has this abhyasa, 8th verse we had seen last session, abhyasa yoga yuktena, one who has a focused mind, one who has trained the mind opposite to its natural tendencies. Natural tendency is to go out, train the mind to turn within. Natural tendency is to think about different things. Anekagra chitta trained his mind to do ekagra. Trained his mind to be ekagra. That is the abhyasa he has done. Abhyasa is formed from the root word as. As means to throw. Astra means that weapon which is thrown. So repeatedly throwing the mind at the goal is called as abhyasa. Again and again repeating. And agra means forward, in front. Purataha means agra is forward. Don't worry about directions. Eka agra means only one thing in front. What is ekagra chitta? That mind which has only one object in front. That is called as abhyasa yoga yuktena. Na anyagamina. Na anyagamina means it doesn't want to go anywhere else. Anuchintayan. After learning about nature of God, this sadhaka meditates upon Bhagavan in this way. With a focused mind, introverted mind, he is training his mind to think about the Lord. What was the main point we had seen in the word anuchintayan? That even in devotional path, we need shravanam. Do you remember that story of Narayan Madhusudan? Husband's name was Narayan, father-in-law's name was Madhusudan. She thought Narayan Madhusudan means both of them. So her japa stopped after marriage. That point is just to say that word should indicate that thing for us. So when we say Bhagavan, when we say Rama, what is Bhagavan's nature we will come to know when we study scriptures. General idea is devotional path is easy. That's why there are many paths. Everybody starts their own. Traditional Vedantic path is learning about nature of God, which technically is called as upasana. That is why Anuchintayan word is used. Then we had seen the indicators of Bhagwan. Kavim Puranam. Kavim means the one who is all-knowing. Means there is no thought of mine which Bhagwan doesn't know. No intention of mine that Bhagwan doesn't know. That is the feeling of a sadhaka. And whomever we love, we don't want to disappoint that person. So if he loves Bhagwan, his pursuit is not to disappoint God. God's disappointment shows up in the form of guilt. And God's happiness shows up in the form of our inner peace and happiness. That is his sadhana that he does. We chant one prayer, Nanya Spruha Ragupate Hrudaye Smadiye. The devotee is saying, Bhagwan, I don't have any other desire in my heart. Bhagwan says, how should I trust you? You are saying this. Satyam Vadami. He says, I am speaking the truth. Bhavan Akhilantaratma. You are the witness of everybody's thoughts. Satyam Vadami cha Bhavan Akhilantaratma. Next line is Bhaktim Precha Raghupungara Nirbharame. He says, Bhagwan, I don't have any desire, but one desire I have, that I want your unbroken devotion. That is the prayer to the Lord. Then what was the next word? Puranam. Puranam means one who is eternal. Little older than creation. This creation has always had a creator, a nourisher. It was never left by itself. Avatars come and go, but Bhagwan's unmanifest form continues to nourish forever. Sometimes Balvihar children have this question. Bhagwan Krishna was there at that time, and that arrow came and hit his toe, and he went away. So whom are we praying right now? One Balvihar child asked me this. He said, my friend tells me there is no God. Because you only told in your story that these things happened and he took back his avatar. If you have deeper questions, answer should also be deep. What is the true answer? Ishvara's nature is avyakta, unmanifest. Consciousness pervading over unmanifest conditioning is Ishvara. He can choose to appear in manifest conditioning and pull it back anytime. Appear as manifest conditioning in one form. Right now, how is Ishvara appearing? What is manifest form of Ishvara? This entire universe. Purusha Suktam we say, this entire universe is body of the Lord. Within that, he can choose to appear in one form. That is avatar. Appearing as creation, we don't call as avatar. He cannot do leelas as creation. He has to give karma phala through creation. But if he comes as Bhagwan Rama, Bhagwan Krishna, that is called as avatar. That is why Puranam, as pure consciousness presiding over unmanifest conditioning, Bhagwan is Puranam. Anushasitaram, he is the ruler of this universe, rules through karma siddhanta. Through discipline, he rules. Therefore, he likes those who are disciplined. Reward and censure, both things Bhagavan does. In English, these words sound very strange, reward and censure. Sanskrit words are beautiful. Anugraha and nigraha. Those who live a disciplined life, Bhagavan gives anugraha. And if somebody breaks the rules, he does nigraha. Nigraha means to punish. That's where we had seen the 4 symbolic elements in Bhagavan's hands. Shankha Chakra, Gada Padma. Anoho Aniyamsam, smaller than the smallest. Which word is Aniyamsam? You will find. Aniyas Shabda becomes Aniyamsam. Like Nachiketas. Aniyamsam. It is Nirguna in its essential nature. That is what it means. Smaller than the smallest. Smaller than the smallest means essential nature of God is formless, beyond sense organs. How many are done now? Kavim, Puranam, Anushasitaram, Anoho Aniyamsam. Anusmaredya, one who remembers the Lord in this way. Few more indicators are there. Sarvasya Dhataram. Sarvasya Dhataram means one who takes care of all. Dhata literally means ordainer of karma phalas. Ordainer of karma phalas. That is Bhagavan, one who takes care of right from the smallest insect, smallest organism, amoeba, all the way to the blue whale. Whatever jivas are there, whatever they need, one who takes care of everything is Bhagavan. This National Geographic magazine, it's very interesting to read if you want to see Vibhuti Yoga. How this nature works. One thing is to appreciate the scientific part of it, but you can also look at it from a devotional standpoint. How many creatures are there and how their needs are taken care of. Shivaji Maharaj once was standing on his fort and several people were working. And this thought comes to his mind that I am taking care of all of them. Because of me, they are getting work. Samartha Ramdashi notices this. He calls one of the workers and he says, break that rock. He breaks it. Inside that rock, there was a frog. And little water was there. Samartha Ramdashi tells Shivaji Maharaj, did you provide water to that frog? You didn't even know that this creature exists. Because your attention is only on human beings, that too those in your kingdom, you are saying, I am providing for them. Sarvasya Dhatara means one who provides for all. That is Bhagavan. Now the beauty is, if somebody understands this creation is taken care by the Lord, results in our life, experiences in our life, come through Lord's grace, devotees' firm conviction is, I have nothing to complain. This is ripened devotion. One devotion is Bhagavan exists. Second is firm faith that Bhagavan is my well-wisher. And on the strength of that he says, there is nothing out of place. This statement actually is said by Arjuna. When he sees Vibhuti Yoga, when he sees Vishwarupa Darshana, different forms of the Lord. The first statement he says is, Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakirtya. Bhagavan, I thought this Duryodhana was like this and Pandavas were like that and Kauravas were like this. One thing I have understood, by your grace, everything is in the right place. Bigger scheme of thoughts, bigger scheme of life. This is the deep realization of a devotee. Somebody asked Puja Guruji, which is your favorite verse in Bhagavad Geeta? Generally, he would not answer such a question. Huh? But he said his favorite verse is something that Arjuna has said. And he quoted this verse, Sthane Hrishikesha Tava Prakirtya. Bhagwan, by your grace, everything is in the right place. Now the point that some schools of thoughts they raise, they say, why do you need God to give results? Sarvasya Dhataram, you said, right? I am doing the action and I will get the result. Why do I need Bhagwan as the in-between entity between my actions and results which are due to me? If I am nice to people, people will be nice to me. Where is God involved? There are some results which are called as drushta phala. You see it right away. Like you eat food, hunger goes away, that is drushta phala. Now, there are some results which will come at a later point of time, at a different place. Now, if those results are there has to be some sentient entity which is keeping track of who did which karma and where that result should come. How he should get that result? The one who keeps track of it, that is Bhagavan. Think of it this way. There are two employees. Employee number one is very honest, very sincere. You give him any work, he will do. Another employee is there. He likes to cut corners. He will see how can I get the maximum and minimum time. Means how can I get the work done without doing too much effort. Second employee. But he gets somehow or the other work done. So you are keeping an eye on both of them. If you have to give a raise, which employee will you be more inclined to give a raise? First or second? First one. Now you see, from the time they were doing the action until this year end came, until that time both were getting the same salary. But a point came when this person got more, first person got more, and second person stayed there. The point is, every action that we do leaves an impression. Whether we verbalize it or not, every action leaves an impression. Panchadashi, Vidyaranya Swamiji says, just like actions leave an impression on people, actions also leave an impression on God's mind. That person who was hardworking, sincere, he did one action at point A, but result did not come right away. He did not get raise on that same day. He got it at the end of the year. So there was some entity who was keeping track of what was his bhavana during work. How much effort did he put? And when the right time comes, it was given to him. Just like in day-to-day life we see this, cosmic creation also, there is somebody who is keeping track. Shiv Mahimna Stotram, it is said, because of this fact alone, people get inspired to live dharmic life. Druda parikaraha karma sujanaha. Druda parikara means they get inspired to live dharmic life because they have faith. If I do some action here, good result will come to me. Otherwise, just imagine somebody does yajna here. Will he get result right away? That result is going to come sometime later. Yajna dana tapa, doing charity, doing tapasya. Result will not come right away. But because sarvasya dhataram, Bhagavan is there who is karma phala data, right time, right results will come. See, another problem with not having God as karma phala data, who else will be karma phala data? What are the options? Jiva, one who is doing action. Second option is that action itself giving result. Third option is God giving result. Fourth also you add, somebody else giving result, some other jiva. If let us say I had the choice to pick results of my actions, will I ever pick unfavorable result? I will always pick favorable results. And it will be total chaos if everybody could choose result that they want. India and England playing cricket match, all of them choose to win. Total chaos. See, if you notice this point, you will realize there is so much of order in Bhagavan's creation. He says, you put forth your action, there are past actions which will do plus minus, and you will have net result with my grace. Jiva cannot decide results. This is a deep realization whenever we understand the import of this statement. In my life, I am a recipient of results, not a chooser. Contributor, not controller in my actions. A recipient, not chooser of results. What is the first verse of Upadesha Sara? Karturajñaya prapyate phalam. Pay attention to the word prapyate. Kartuhu ajñaya. By God's grace, we receive results. Raman Maharshi could have said, Kartuhu ajñaya gruhyate phalam. Gruhyate means what? I will go and get it. I can ask for it, but whether I will get it or not is God's grace. Two people might ask totally contrary things. Farmer might ask rain. Somebody else, home wedding is going on, he will say, please don't give rain. Two contrary results, two jivas will make a chaos. Bhagavan says, result giving is my department. So jiva cannot give. What was second option? Action. Action is inert. Once it is done, it doesn't even know who did it. Forget about finding that karta to give results. And if you say other jiva, how much do other people know about our life? What is our intention? What action we have done? Which action should give which result? No jiva can decide in that way. Other jiva might become the means to receive my karma phala. But that jiva is not deciding my karma phala. He is the postman. He'll give the letter, go away. Okay? So that is sarvasya dhataram. But main point we have to note here, that this creation has a master who is the ordainer of results, and our real master is Bhagavan, not another jiva. We want karma phalas in our life. See, don't make it too technical also. We want certain results in our life. Whom do we ask? Sarvasya dhataram? Or we have faith in our own abilities? Or some jiva? Is a real person to ask is God. Achintya Rupam, that is the next one, sixth indicator, Achintya Rupam. Now this Achintya means that which cannot be conceived by the mind. This you can see from Saguna standpoint also and Nirguna standpoint also. Let us take Saguna first. If somebody asks us, what is your height? We will tell whatever is our height. 5'10", 5'11". Somebody asks weight, you can tell. Now if you have to take height of Bhagavan, what is his sharira? Apatala nabastalanta bhuvana. All lokas are his body. Even to think about his sharira is achintyam. Any attribute that we see for this body or any object, shape, weight, name, form, to think about Bhagavan as totality, our mind will start spinning. That's why in Srimad Bhagavatam, whenever they describe creation, they describe it elaborately. Purpose is not to describe it. Purpose is to say Bhagavan is infinite. That is his Saguna Rupa. Even as Saguna, he is Achintyam only. Nirguna Rupa to what to say? Let's try to understand this, appreciate this point better. Why is Nirguna Rupa Achintyam? Pay attention to this example. We know gold is an element in the periodic table, right? As that element, does it have a form? It is formless in a way. But whenever we have seen gold, it is with form. Either we have seen a bar, or we have seen an ornament, or a earring, or a bangle, necklace. Now think about gold without form. What comes to your mind? That is Achintya Rupam. To think of something without form is not mind's area. Simple element, which is part of this universe, if you want to think about formless nature of that gold, mind is unable to conceive. It will put some gaseous form there. Some form it will bring. This example, everybody is with me? Now, what is the nature of consciousness? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Is this watch existent? Yes. Can you pay attention to existence? Existence, not existent. That is Achintya Rupam. Existence cannot be seen through sense organs. Holding on to some name and form, borrowing Sat, existence from that consciousness, this watch comes into being. But if I have to pay attention to existence, that is beyond the mind. All of you are ready for a little more thinking? Existence was Achintya Rupam. Appreciate that part, how it was Achintya Rupam. Are we aware of thoughts? Thoughts are sentient. Yes, because you know. If it was insentient, harmonium cannot know. Thoughts are sentient. They can know. Okay, simpler question. Are you conscious? Yes. But can we pay attention to consciousness? What is the difference between conscious and consciousness? Consciousness is minus conditionings. I am conscious as this body, as this mind, as this ego. That consciousness, which never becomes object of sense organs, is Achintya Rupam. Through the mind, I cannot fathom what is that consciousness. Means I cannot objectify it. Third one is beautiful. How many things we saw? Sat as Achintya Rupam, Chit as Achintya Rupam. Are you all happy? You say after the class. You say yes. Life, Bhagavan has blessed us with several things to be happy. Can we pay attention to happiness? Which is arising out of infinitude. Arising out of clarity that other than consciousness nothing exists. That happiness I am, Ananda Swarupa I am. Now this cannot be conceived through the mind. The moment you bring mind there, it will become finite. Moment you bring mind, it will have some kind of impurity. That is Achintya Rupam. So we are able to appreciate conditioned existence. Watch is existent, I can know. I am conscious, I know. I am happy, I know. But if I have to pay attention to existence, consciousness, and bliss, not the bliss that mind is familiar with. Calm mind, bliss gets reflected. That's a different Sushupti Ananda. But this is bliss of infinitude. That is Achintya Rupam. That is Bhagavan's nature. Sarvasya Dhataram Achintya Rupam. So we saw from Saguna standpoint and Nirguna standpoint. What is Saguna standpoint? As this creation, and when we say creation, please don't include only this earth and the planets and the Milky Way and galaxy. All of that is part of Bhuloka. Whatever, wherever you can go and see through our sense organs and this body, that is part of Bhuloka. Like this, there are 13 other worlds. 14 worlds put together, one Brahmanda. Like that, there are countless Brahmanda. So that is Bhagavan's Sharira. To make it easy, they say, in this Brahmanda only, they point at different things and say, this is Bhagavan's body. Earth is his feet, and so on. Actually, in Mundaka, there is one mantra. Agnir Murdha Chakshushi Chandra Surya. The Dyuloka is his head. Agnir Murdha. Swarga is his head. Sun and the moon are his eyes. Chakshushi Chandra Surya. Disha Shrotre. Directions are his ears. That is just to say, Saguna Rupa of Bhagavan is also Achintya Rupam. Then seventh one is Aditya Varnam. Aditya Varnam means he is effulgent like the sun. Aditya means sun, Varnam means color. Effulgent like the sun. Now Bhagavan as pure consciousness has lot of similarities with sun. That is why this example is given. What are the similarities? Light of sun is not incidental. It has not come because of something. Inherent nature of sun is to have that light, effulgence. Like that, consciousness in God is not incidental. Bhagavan's nature is consciousness. So whenever the word sun is given, we should understand there are similarities. First similarity is this. Consciousness is not incidental. Light of sun is not incidental. Second similarity is, whatever comes in front of the sun, sun reveals it. It might be good, bad, indifferent. In the same way, whichever thought comes in front of consciousness, consciousness illumines it. Good, bad, indifferent, any kind of thought which comes in front is illumined by consciousness. Second similarity, just like sun reveals everything, consciousness reveals everything. What was the first one? Light of sun is not incidental. Similarly, ability to illumine of consciousness is not incidental. Last one is, sun doesn't need another light. We don't need another light to know the sun. In the same way, we don't need another consciousness to know consciousness. Just like the sun doesn't need another light to be illumined, consciousness doesn't need another source of consciousness to be known. That is why if you say, I want to look at consciousness, it means who is the one who is looking? There is only one source of illumination, which is pure consciousness. Okay. Tamas of Parastat, that is the eighth indicator. Tamas of Parastat means it is beyond ignorance, untouched by ignorance. Maya Shakti, it doesn't bring about any modification in Ishvara. Okay, so when we chant this verse, we should be able to appreciate what each word means. How many indicators are there? Total? 8 indicators. I will tell the Sanskrit, you tell me the English translation without looking. Kavihi, Puranam, Anushasitaram, Anoho Aniyamsam, Nirguna in essential nature, Samanusmaretya, Sarvasya Dhataram, Karmaphaladata, ordainer, Achintya Rupam. Bhagavan, in your Saguna form also you are infinite, Nirguna form also you are infinite, cannot be conceived by mind. Aditya Varnam, effulgent like the sun. What are the 3 similarities? Not incidental, illumines everything that comes in front, doesn't need third light. Very good. Last one is Tamas of Parastat, beyond ignorance, untouched by ignorance. Means Bhagavan is of the nature of knowledge. So whenever we see Murti of the Lord, whenever we meditate upon Bhagavan, this is one verse which describes him. Okay. Now, Bhagavan says, having understood my nature, we should learn to focus the mind. Before meditation, how to focus the mind, that is mentioned in 10th verse. Prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva bhruvor madhye pranamaveshya samyak satam param purushamupaiti divyam prayana kale manasa chalena bhaktya yukto yoga balena chaiva bhruvor madhye pranamaveshya samyak satam param purushamupaiti divyam. Prayana kale, at the time of death, 3 qualities are mentioned of this upasaka. First one is achalena manasa. Achalena manasa means with an unwavering mind. See, Bhagavan is saying that kind of mind has to be cultivated. He is not saying only last thought. That mind which is unwavering, which has one thought of the Lord. That is his uniqueness, achalena manasa, unwavering mind, no flutter. How did he get such a mind? Yoga balena. Bhaktya yukta, you leave aside for now. He got achala manas, unwavering mind, on the strength of yoga. Yoga balena. Yoga balena means steadiness of mind attained through regular meditation. Yoga means to unite. Repeatedly he has united his mind with God, and that has given him strength. Yoga balena means that repeated practice of meditation, samskara of meditation has become strong. Just like we have ashubha samskaras, right? Those samskaras which are bothersome. We have shubha samskaras also. All are impressions only. So this is one of the exalted shubha samskara. He has done this repetition so many times, his mind effortlessly thinks about it. They say whatever samskara we have, only those thoughts keep coming repeatedly. Our remembrance is directly related with samskara. If you go to the market, you see hundreds of people there. You met your best friend, one best friend there. You come home and tell, I saw that friend there. Hundreds of people were there. But whom did we notice? Whom did we remember? That whose samskara we have. So smriti and samskara go together. So his achala manas, unwavering mind, he got through yoga bala, repeated practice. This is why our Santa Mahatmas, they say, every day we should spend time in prayer. What will it do? It will create these samskaras. If you are already praying, well and good. The fine tuning which is needed is achalena manas. Achala manas is the depth in our prayer. How many times during those 15 minutes does mind think about other things? Fewer the number, further is the progress in prayer. Achala manas. Then third quality is bhaktya yuktaha. Prayana kale manasachalena bhaktya yukta. Bhaktya yukta means he is endowed with supreme love for God. Bhakti means parama prema, supreme love for God, and he wants God alone. Hindi it is sweeter. Bhagwan hi chahiye versus Bhagwan bhi chahiye. Bhagwan hi chahiye means what? At that point he says, Bhagwan, I want you and you alone. Bhagwan bhi chahiye means several things I want, you also I want. So bhaktya yukta means single pointed love for God. One commentator he writes, generally we have different deficiencies, right? Vitamin deficiency, vitamin D in particular. Amongst all sadhana chatushtaya, our general deficiency is vairagya deficiency. And he says, the sadhana for increasing vairagya is, we should not hear praise of worldly things. Very simple sadhana he gives. If you want to cultivate vairagya, don't hear praise of worldly things. The thing that we hear praise about, and if we internally start praising it, there is no way we will get vairagya. That's why we say, stuti, if you have to do, it should be only of the Lord. Not of any object, not of any person. That is Bhaktya Yukta. He wants Bhagavan and Bhagavan alone. Then such a person, Satam Param Purusham Upaiti. He will attain the Lord. But before that, he has done one more step. You see that third line. Bhruvor Madhye Pranamavesha Samyak. Now this is something which is expertise of Yoga Darshan. In Vedanta, we don't study this as much. First of all, it takes time to appreciate we also have pranas. Okay, after studying Tattva Bodha only we know there is something called as Pranamaya Kosha, Pancha Pranas are there. Otherwise we think prana means the breath. Breath belongs to gross body. Prana belongs to subtle body. So after knowing there are pranas, this person has controlled the pranas. And commentators, they give detailed description. Different nadis are there, Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi, not allowing the prana to go through them and only through Sushumna Nadi. That is the step. From different chakras, raising it up to the eyebrow. I am not an expert on that, so only this much I will say. But one commentator, he says a good thing. He says, after the pranas have been brought here, whatever thought was there, only that thought remains. Yeah, that's why Bhagavan is adding this step. In Yoga Darshana, after this Bhruvor Madhye Pranamavesha has happened, whatever he was thinking, in that he gets Samadhi. We can just appreciate this verse. More details. But one example you will find, several examples actually. One good example is Dronacharya. If you see how he gave up his body. Middle of the battlefield, they will sit in Padmasana, control their pranas, bring it to a point, through Brahmarandra, go to Brahmaloka. That is this verse, how their departure is. But main point here is, mind is on God. And to focus the mind, there are other altars. We don't need to take eyebrows and other things. Bhagavan will give later. Akshara is also an altar. Akshara is also an altar. Satam Param Purusham Upaiti Divyam. Next verse, let us just chant it. Bhagavan now is elaborating the technique of meditation, particularly Om Upasana. Yadaksharam Vedavido Vadanti Vishanti Yadyatayo Vitaragaha Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe Yadaksharam Vedavido Vadanti Vishanti Yadyatayo Vitaragaha Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Pravakshe. Interestingly, in Bhagavad Geeta, Bhagavan calls Om as Akshara. See what is he saying? Yad Aksharam Veda Vidaha Vadanti. This is actually talking about Om. But it is that Om which is also called as Akshara, which great Mahatmas, they speak about Veda Vidaha Vadanti. That same truth, because of or into which great Rishi Munis get abidance. Vishanti yadyatayah vitaragaha. Yadyatayah, those who are striving and who are completely dispassionate. See, there is a difference between vitaraga and vairagya. Vitaraga is that person from whom desires have walked away far. Vita means gone. Raga is desires. Vairagya is what we try to practice with dosha darshanam. We see limitations, little bit far it goes, again it comes. That desire. Again we send it far, again it comes back. So yatayaha vitaraga is perfected state. That is why Vishanti word is used. They have entered. What is work in progress? Third line. Yad ichchantah brahmacharyam charanti. Those who follow brahmacharya, celibacy and do tapasya, seeking that truth. That's why with brahmacharya, which word is used? Ichchantah. They are seeking it. With perfected people, which word is used? Vishanti. They have entered already. That same akshara in which Mahatmas are abiding, that same akshara seeking which people are doing sadhana, tatte padam sangrahena pravaksheya. That same padam I am going to elaborate or describe in brief. So this verse we will see in the next session. But many of you have written some questions or you have emailed it to me. I'll give few minutes towards the end. If you have anything to ask, this is a good time. And feel free to ask, okay? There is no basic question, simple question. What happens is, right after the class, many of you have so many questions. So this is a good time. Collectively we can reflect based on what we discussed today or any time before. Yes. Can you speak in the mic? If you can give the mic. No. You took out the prana. Yes.
Hari Om Somji. My question is regarding karma phala that we discussed earlier. There are certain karmas we do like externally, right? There's some things things are going on in the mind. Let's say there are some negative emotions like jealousy or anger, but we are not expressing it.
Yes.
It's staying within. So what is the consequence of these kind of things where we are not acting upon them, but they are going on inside?
Right. See, karma phala, the premise is whatever is done with a sense of doership, that brings karma phala. That is the primary premise. There should be doership involved. The examples we had seen earlier was, if while walking, $100 note falls from my pocket and some needy person takes it, I will not get punya of dhanam because no kartrutva was involved. And let's say somebody was sleeping, his hand falls on an insect and that insect dies. There is no papa also. Same reason, because there is no kartrutva. Actions done in dream don't have karma phala. Why is that? No kartrutva, no doership. In waking state, we have kartrutva. Now it comes to what about thoughts? If it's not action, do thoughts also have karma phala? In Bhagavatam, it is said, Kali Yuga's blessing is thoughts don't have direct karma phala. Negative thoughts. Good thoughts will have good results. But erroneous thoughts, unless it becomes an action, it will not bring karma phala. Now that is not to say that it is okay to think anything. The main point there is, in spite of doing our best, Kali Yuga's state is such, mind will show different colors. One should not feel discouraged. But I should be very alert. If I don't take care of it at thought level, very quickly it will become my action. And action becomes habit. Habit becomes character. It starts with a thought, that way. Good. Anybody else? Yes. Turn it on, please.
Yes. Hari Om. So Amji, can you please explain how can we know about, you mentioned there's 13 other realms beyond the Bhuloka.
Yes.
How do we know about this?
How do we know about this, or do you want to know more about this?
How does anybody know about those?
Any knowledge that takes place, it will take place through pramana. Pramana means valid means of knowledge. So our school of thought, there are 6 pramanas which we accept. Starting with pratyaksha pramana, anumana pramana, upamana, anupalabdhi. We won't go into details of that. There are valid means of knowledge. Like sense organs and inference. With that you can know many things. We also accept a pramana called as aitihya pramana. Aitihya pramana means itihasa and purana. If Ramayana, Bhagavatam, they are saying something, that is also valid means of knowledge. So because those words are mentioned in Puranas, 14 words, that becomes our source of knowledge. Upanishads will talk about Brahmaloka, it will talk about Swargaloka, but details of these other lokas are not easily available. But in Puranas it is. And in our Shastra, Purana is also Pramana. In our school of thought, Purana is also Pramana. Yes, Shauriji, you had something?
Hariom Somji, today you mentioned that the thoughts are sentient.
Yes.
But my understanding was thoughts are insentient.
Yes.
Can you please?
Every vritti will have 2 components. What is thought made up of? According to Tattva Bodha, sattvic aspect of 5 elements. Antakarana, in which there is a thought, it is made up of sattvic aspect of 5 elements. All 5 elements. Now in that thought, consciousness is getting reflected. It will not directly reflect in body. But because Antakarana has that ability to reflect consciousness, you will not only have the inert part, you will also have sentient part. So what is the sentient part in thought? Chidabhasa, reflected consciousness. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.